Hey, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. OBS Studio finally launched version 27. They've been testing it for months, but right now it officially launched. These are a bunch of the changes. I'm gonna go over them together with you because there's some exciting stuff in here. If you want to check your current version, you can go to Help, to About, and then right here you can see version 27.0.0. If you still need to update, just go to obsproject.com. Click on your operating system and it will start downloading. Now make sure you install it in the right folder because I have an OBS folder right here, OBS Studio, and then also in this folder, and only one of them updated to version 27. Obviously, so make sure you select the right folder or otherwise you might not see all these changes. A big thanks to the sponsor which is owned to make this video possible. If you want to make your stream look better, then this is the place to be. To give a whole new look to your stream, you can get one of their complete graphic packs. All of the elements inside can be tested with their preview tool and they are completely animated and really high quality. You can also improve the sense of community in your stream by creating personalized emotes and badges with their tools. This is a great way to incentivize viewers to subscribe and to start using the emotes in your chat. The link to their website will be in my description, and if you use my code TVN, you will get 50% of the price. Again, the link will be in the description. The first feature that changed is something many people have been waiting for, and it's undo and redo. The undo feature goes back to 5,000 actions, so in theory it's pretty unlimited. Let's say this is a pretty important scene, I replace it and it's hard to get it right again. I can just press Ctrl Z, and here we are at the start again. This wasn't possible before, and many people are gonna be happy that this is back. To edit, you can see undo and redo. Ctrl Z is to undo, and then Ctrl plus Shift plus Z, which is this, is to redo, but the developer says you can also press Ctrl Y. The next new feature is improved display capture for laptops. A bunch of people are streaming from laptops and there's a possibility that you got a black screen before because laptops sometimes have two GPUs. One very energy efficient GPU for the lighter tasks and then one very powerful GPU, it's a laptop, for 3D tasks like gaming, etc. Now the problem some laptop users run into is that the laptop might decide to run OBS Studio on the lighter GPU and then your game on the powerful GPU. And as a result of that, when you decide to capture your screen with OBS Studio, which is using the lighter GPU, but the game was actually running on the heavy GPU, OBS Studio couldn't capture that other GPU, which resulted in a black screen. So what did they change? When you add a display capture source, before the only option you had was which of the two screens you wanted to use, but right now you can change the capture method to Windows 10, 1903 and up, and this is a new method of capturing which will allow laptop users to use their two GPUs and to capture something that's running on the other one. Now you won't have to choose this yourself, you can just set it to automatic. OBS Studio will select the right way to capture for you. One disadvantage right now is that there will be a yellow border around the selected display. So let's test this. Let's say we use display capture. Let's set it to this new method here. Let's click on OK. And now you can see a yellow border around my screen. But as I say in the article, a future Windows 10 update will provide the option to hide it. The next feature they implemented is a big quality of life upgrade, which is a missing files dialog. Let me just show you what it does. So let's say I go to my pictures and then I add this picture to OBS. Now when I close OBS Studio and then I replace this picture to my downloads, for example, if I open OBS Studio again, usually it would just not show the picture anymore because it was missing. But right now, as you see right here, missing file, you get a message right now. Now there are two ways to recover your file. The first one is to just show OBS Studio where your file is. Since only one file is missing, this is pretty easy. You just say, well, it's right here, my downloads. Here, you click on open and then the file will be recovered. Now let's say there are 20 files missing because you moved a whole folder. In that case, it's gonna be pretty tedious to select them one by one. so you can let OBS just search a folder. And the way to do that is by clicking on search directory and then saying, well, I'm not really sure where all the files are, or I don't want to select them one by one. They are somewhere in my downloads, and then you just click on select folder. And as you see on the bottom left, found 1 of 1. It found the file in the downloads, and then here 16.jpg. It found the picture. Let's click on apply. And there you go, the picture is back again, and now when you double click it, you see that it has linked it to the new directory. So this is a big quality of life update. Let's delete the picture and take a look at the next thing, which is source visibility transitions. Now the new feature is this: when you right click a source, so not a scene but a source, you can see two new things: show transition and hide transition, or referring to when you hide something and then show it again like this. Now what does it do? Well, when you add a show transition, for example a swipe, you can click preview transition. This is a swipe to the left, but when it shows up on the screen, I want it to swipe to the right. Let's click on OK. Let's hide the webcam. Now when I click on show, you will see that it animates in. Then you can right click it and then say hide transition. I also want to swipe, but this time to the left. Let's click on OK. So now we have a hide transition to the left and then a show to the right. But as you can already see, we have a problem. The swipe animation stays between the borders of the webcam, as you can see when I hide and show it. And this would be good when it would connect to the border like this, because then it swipes in. But it's not good when the webcam is a bit away from the border, because then it looks kind of weird. Now the best solution that I have found is right clicking your video capture device and then going to group selected items. Let's call this webcam. And right now we still have the same problem, because when we click the folder, it adjusts itself to the size of whatever is in the folder. So how are we gonna fix this? Well, we are going to add another element, a color source. Let's click on OK. Click on OK, it doesn't really matter. And now we can rescale this color source, and the only thing we need to do is make sure it connects to the left. Let's make it about the same size as the webcam. This isn't really necessary, but just to make it a bit more clear. So right now we can drag this to the folder. Let's drag it beneath the webcam. So right now this here is the webcam, then this whole thing is the color source, and when we click on the folder, it will select everything. But now when we hide the color source, as you see, this did the trick. So this is the webcam, but when we click the folder, then it connects to the left. So now we can just add a show and hide transition to the folder itself. So let's add a slide. This is the show transition, so I'm gonna do it to the right. Let's click on OK, and then a hide transition slide to the left. Click on OK. And right now when I hide the folder, there we go. And when I show it, it just slides in from the left. You can also adjust the timing right here. You can just say, well, it needs to be 1000 milliseconds, for example, then a hide transition, 1000. Okay, let's hide it. And there we go. Now it's butter smooth. This looks kinda good, to be honest. So there are a bunch of possibilities with this, and one extra thing: when you go to the settings to hotkeys, you need to scroll down till you see the name of the scene you're in, which is scene in this case, and then you need to look for the folder that you want to show and hide, which is webcam. So as you see here, show webcam, hide webcam. Now when I add the keybind to show webcam and then to hide webcam, I can now hide and show the webcam with my keyboard, which is something I can do while being in game. So this is extremely useful. You can find a bunch of uses for this. This is a really cool new feature. Now the next new feature is something that doesn't need much explaining. When you go to view and then to docs, maybe you didn't know about this, but right here you can add a bunch of stuff like your chat, or your stream information, or your Twitch activity feed. But this was only possible on Windows, and right now it's also possible on Linux and on Mac OS. Now you might not see everything here. For example, the Twitch chat, you can only see this if you're logged in with Twitch. When you go to the settings, to stream, and then right here you can select Twitch and then log in. As you see, I can disconnect. So if you log in with Twitch or with Restream, you will see some extra things right here in the docs. So if you stream on macOS or on Linux, this is pretty cool. Now the next thing is Wayland on Linux. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about Linux. I also think that not many people who are watching this video will be using Linux, so I'm not really gonna go in depth into this. If you are a Linux user, make sure that you read this on obsproject.com/blog. Next is again something extremely cool if you have an Nvidia RTX card. Now, one of my previous videos was about Nvidia Broadcast, which is an application that removes all your background noise. I'm gonna show you an example from the previous video. This is a really exciting video. Watch this, or better, listen to this. Or better, don't listen to this, because my Nvidia graphics card is blocking out everything that's not my voice. If I just slap my desk while talking, you're not gonna hear it. So that's a pretty cool effect, right? Now you need an Nvidia RTX card for this, but if you have one, before you needed to use Nvidia Broadcast and then add your microphone here and then route stuff. That was pretty annoying. Right now it's built into OBS Studio. When you go to one of your audio sources right here, let's say that desktop audio is my microphone. It isn't, but let's say it is. You can just go to the filters, then add a filter, then choose noise suppression. Click on OK, then you will see two noise removal methods right here, but if we install one extra thing, you will see a third option, which is the noise removal of Nvidia that I showed before that removes everything that's not your voice, and it's pretty easy to install right here. They just link to it, Nvidia Broadcast Audio Effects SDK. By the way, if you're looking for this article for links that are inside of it, you can just go to the OBS website, then right here on the top right you see blog, and there you will find the article. So then you can just click on the link here to the SDK, then choose your language, and now when you scroll to the bottom, you can see audio effects. And then if you have an RTX 30 series card, you click here. If you have an RTX 20 series card, you click here. I have a 2070 Super, and this is a pretty big download. It's 500 megabytes. So when the download is finished, you just install it. And if everything works, I can now close OBS Studio, then open it again, then go back to one of the filters here, noise suppression, and then I should see a third option, and it works. Nvidia noise removal, good quality, no CPU usage, and then you can just choose the intensity right here. So you should play around with this and see if you like it. If you want to adjust the intensity and you want to listen along with your mic to see if it works, you can just go to the advanced audio properties, and then next to your microphone, let's say this is your mic, you can change the audio monitoring to monitor and output, and then you will hear your microphone in your headset, so that way you can just test everything, and then when it's right, you just change it back to monitor off, close it, and then everything should work. Now let's go back to the updates, because the next thing here is TrackMath stingers. Now this is something that's pretty advanced. I'm gonna give you a basic explanation of what this is, how you could use it, but I'm not gonna be able to explain you everything about it and show you how to make your own things with it, but let me just show you the basics of it. So right here they say free TrackMath stingers, and I'm gonna use their presets to give you a preview of what this is exactly. So let's go to the downloads. Right here, this is what we just downloaded. I'm just gonna extract it here, and there are two folders, same file side by side and then stacked. Now let's go back to OBS Studio, because what this is an advanced stinger transition. So when you click here to change your overall transition, you can choose add stinger. You just click on it, you click on OK. Let's click on OK for a second. So right now you will have your normal transitions here, and then also a stinger. Now when you click on it and select it as your current transition, and then you click on the settings icon, you can go to properties, and then you can change your transition. And there is something new here. Let me make it a bit bigger, because right here we have use a TrackMath, and this is the thing that updated TrackMath stingers. So what is this? Well, it's pretty confusing to explain. So I'm gonna go back to the files that we downloaded here to side by side, and I'm gonna use this transition as an example. So I'm gonna pause it here. So we have two sides here. The left is what the transition will actually look like on your screen. It's just a circle that opens like this. Now on the right here, you see a black area and then a white area. Now the black represents your current scene that you're transitioning away from, and the white is your new scene. So the transition starts really small like this, and as you see, the outside of the circle here is black on the right, so that will be your current scene. Then the inside of the circle is white, so that will be your new scene that's opening within this circle on the left. I'm gonna show you how it works. So let's go to OBS. Let's click on OK. I'm gonna do it again. So on the right here, you see scene transitions. You click on stinger right here, or you add a stinger. Then you click on the settings, properties, and then here they ask you to select a video file. So let's click on browse. Let's go to downloads. This is what we downloaded side by side, and I'm gonna choose this circle transition. Let's click on open, and now the new feature on the bottom, use a track matte. And then here they ask you to select a layout, and you can choose between same file side by side and same file stacked. That's the same thing as we could see in the folders we downloaded. Same file stacked or side by side. Let's go to stacked here. So that's just on top of each other, as you can see in the little preview, instead of next to each other. So what you choose here just depends on the kind of file you downloaded or you created yourself if you're a designer. So we're gonna choose side by side. Then you don't have to do anything else. Let's click on OK. And right now I'm gonna go to the second scene here. And as you see, this is a pretty cool transition. Let's go back to the other scene. So just like I showed you right here, the inside of the circle is white, which means that it will be your new scene. And then the outside of the circle was black, which is your previous scene. So when I go to scene 2, you're gonna see that the inside of the circle is the new one, and then the outside is the old scene, and then it becomes bigger till everything is white in the transition, as you will see here when I play it. So it starts all black, and then the white circle opens till it's completely white. So that's this transition. I'll quickly show you another transition from the preset. So this is another one. Let's click on OK, and then let's transition. There you go. This gives a bunch of possibilities, because it's really cool when you have a transition that has the current scene and the next scene in one screen and then kind of transitions over. Let me show you the third one that they give you. Let's click on browse. This is the third one. Let's click on OK. And that's a transition like this. I'm not really gonna use this. I really like the circle, but that's up to you, of course. If this little update video was helpful to you, then please give it a like, because that helps me a lot in the algorithm. I've never really done a video like this where I go over an article and then give extra information about everything. So please let me know in the comments if you like this type of content. I really enjoyed making this. There are a bunch of new things coming out constantly, interesting articles about things popping up. If you want me to make content about that and just give my own opinion and some extra information, please let me know in the comments, because I'd really like to make more of this. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content about streaming. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.